Hello boys and girls, here's another video I got for you today. These are my newest acquisitions from an estate sale from a few weeks ago. We have a Homelite 33cc 16-inch chainsaw. We have a Toro Recycler self-propelled personal pace lawnmower. And we have a Toro CCR-3650 snow thrower. Now, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 2 of the 3 have been getting some work done. We'll start with the Toro lawnmower here. I got it home. I get all 3 of them. I get them home and go to work on them. Did this one first, but we'll talk about this one. It had fuel in it, and drained the fuel, and the fuel was orange, and it literally stained my hands. I had to scrub my hands with the lava soap for about 10 minutes. My hands are all torn to heck from doing that, because that soap's pretty rough. Get it started. I put new fuel, check the plug and everything. Plug's not too bad. Put new fuel in it, started up, and it revved like nobody's business. I shut it off, and once I shut it off, I could see that there was kind of smoke coming off of the top of it, the flywheel housing here. I said, that's not good. And also the revving, that's not good. As you can see here, this is not the worst I've ever seen. It's not good, but this is definitely not the worst I've ever seen. Some mouses decided to make a little shack out of it. The revving, I'm assuming, was because I got it sort of loose now, but it was pretty stuck there. I think that caused it. So we're going to clean this up, put everything back together, and see what it does. My Toro snow thrower here, this was interesting because the tank was actually empty. So I thought that was good. And I kind of went through the regular checks, and everything looks good underneath. Pardon me. Everything looked good. The rubber for like the fuel lines, pretty supple, but it was leaking from right here, and how it still looks like it's not 100%. What the heck? So there was a lot of fuel coming off this area here, and so I tightened the screws and let it set, and it still was dripping. I was like, okay. Then I looked at the fuel line, and I was like, well, maybe the fuel line, this is not the original clamp that was on there. So I cut right at the very end and put it all back together, and it was still leaking. I was like, okay. So I had to bite the bullet. I figured it was just the gasket for the bowl. You cannot buy just an individual gasket anymore. You have to buy a little gasket set, which set me back just over $10 from our local repair store. No big whoop, because now I know that the gasket's been replaced in the low screen and the bowl's been cleaned out. Put the gas back in there. Let it sit. What do you know? Still dripping gas. Okay, now what did I do? The thing is with this, there's the fuel inlet right here. It's plastic, comes off, and it is not barbed like a carburetor on a regular lawnmower or anything like that. It's got a shaft that comes out, and then there's a little tapered, not tapered, but a little spot right at the very end. But it's not barbed. So this basically just twisted around, and it was pretty freaking loose. So I went ahead and threw a hose clamp on there. Third time's the charm. And there was not the gas leak that I had before. But it still has a little bit of fuel coming off of it. I don't know what's going on with that. Also, this has an electric start, as you can see there. Normally, I'm pretty thorough when I check out stuff at sales or buying secondhand or anything like that. The thing that I neglected to do with this, and this really bugs me, I put it all on myself because I was kind of in a hurry, even though I took over an hour at that place. I did not test whether or not this electric start actually worked. I went ahead and I hooked up the power line to it, and I hit the plunger, and all I heard was a grinding noise. I'm like, oh, Christ, that is not good. And you know what? It's not, because it sounds like the cogs for the electric starter are out. And what you have to do is basically tear this entire thing apart to get to it. And it's down there. And then you have to buy the part. Once you find out that that is the issue. It might not be. Who knows? But I think it is. I think the gear's all stripped out in there. But if I was going to sell this, obviously, I would fix it for whoever bought it. But since I'm going to be hanging on to this, I'm not. I'm going to hang on to it. And I'm not going to touch it. Not unless I absolutely have to. And then there'll be another video. But anyway, boys and girls, when you go to buy stuff, secondhand or whatever, you have a checklist and you go through that. Don't get impatient. Don't get, there's something here, I really like it, but there's something over there, and I might need that too. And because this thing has cost me so much aggravation so far. If it wasn't so nice a shape, I'd really hate myself. But it's actually in pretty decent shape, and it's a lesson learned. That's all it is. What are you gonna do? As far as this, like I said, I'm gonna vacuum this all out and blow it off and everything, and spray some carb cleaner in there, and get it all put back together, and see if that fixes the high revving. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, well, I don't have to worry about mowing the lawn right now. This is the one thing that actually came in. This was the best deal of all of them. The Homelite chainsaw. This thing was sitting off to the side of the drive, and right now all I had was an electric chainsaw, and I really don't care for those because you have to take a generator into the woods, and I'm not doing that. So I needed a regular chainsaw for cutting little stuff. Pretty clean. It pulled easy. Had a little bit of gas in it, not too much. But getting home, check the plug, check the air filter, all that stuff. Went through there, and in about 5, 10, 15 minutes top of doing everything, pulled it, boom, started right up. Runs great. And And so, okay, so I have a decent machine here. Then I really started cleaning all through it and put all fresh gas in there, and this is a two-stroke. Luckily, this is a 50-to-1, which is like the snow thrower over there, so I don't have to have 4 or 5 different, you know what I mean, different gas tanks of different mixtures, even though I do. But it's nice that I can keep one for 50-to-1 and switch back and forth and not have to worry about it. Put new bar oil in there, and this thing runs like a top. Doesn't sound like any problems whatsoever. So I'm really happy with this buy right here. Hopefully this one works out. Hopefully I can find out why. It's just a little bit. Not as much, but just a little bit of fuel coming off of that. I don't know. But anyway, this is what I'm working on. And hopefully everything works out. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that on what you would like to see, what you don't want to see, please subscribe. Like if you like. If not, I don't care. But I think I'm up to 17 subscribers now. Like I said before, need to get that up to 69. If you don't know, go ask your mother. She'll tell you all about it. Have a good one, guys.